Now the next part of the analysis is to identify the acid radical present in your salt given. So already we have a clue that our cation is Ca2 plus from the flame test. So now we will proceed towards the anion. So for analyzing the anion or the acid radical, we have to categorize our acid radical into certain group. Okay, so acid radicals can be categorized or classified into 3 groups here. If your anion belongs to group 1, you can see an observation when your salt is treated with dilute HCl. When you treat your salt with dilute HCl, if you're seeing some observation like a brisk effervescence or a colorless gas or a pungent smelling gas or some mild yellow colored precipitate, all these are clues for group 1. So you have to observe whether there is any characteristic change when dilute HCl is added to your sample. If you are not seeing any observation, that means your group 1 anions are absent. Group 1 anions means maybe carbonate, nitrite, then thiosulfate, sulfide. These ions are absent. So we have to proceed to group 2. Now group 2, your reagent is sulfuric acid, concentrated sulfuric acid. So if you feel that there is nothing in group 1 or none of your acid radical belongs to group 1 is identified, you will proceed to group 2 anions where your reagent is concentrated sulfuric acid. So you have to see any observation is there with concentrated sulfuric acid. In case you didn't see anything, that means your group 1 and group 2 acid radicals are absent, and you have to proceed to the group 3 reagent, which is barium chloride. You will add barium chloride and proceed with the observation. So here I am explaining to you what is the systematic analysis or how is it systematically done. Now in my sample, I don't know which is my anion, so I have to start with group 1. So I will take my sample and add dilute HCl. I am going to add dilute HCl, which is the group 1 reagent, to my sample. If there is any observation like a brisk effervescence, you have to be as quick as possible. You have to cover this with a delivery tube like this, which is inserted into a cork in case there is a brisk effervescence, and you have to pass this gas through lime water. And if the gas is turning lime water milky, you can confirm that the evolving gas is carbon dioxide and your anion is carbonate or your acid radical is carbonate. Okay, so in case it happens, you have to proceed immediately to this test. So I am keeping a delivery tube inserted into a cork near me, and I am adding dilute HCl to the sample. So you have to observe carefully. So I am seeing that there is a brisk effervescence. So immediately I close it with the delivery tube. I took the calcium hydroxide, which is the lime water, and I am trying to pass the gas through lime water. You can see the lime water is becoming milky. So that means I can confirm that there is carbon dioxide gas coming out through this, and this can be released only by the carbonate anion. So the acid radical which is present in my salt is carbonate. So carbonate is confirmed. So this is the confirmatory test also for the carbonate. So I don't have to do it separately because it is like one test. Observation of carbon dioxide. Carbon dioxide is colorless, so we can't identify it. So we passed it through lime water. So this calcium hydroxide became calcium carbonate, which shows the milkiness. So this is the confirmatory test for carbonate. So I am clear that my anion is carbonate. So I don't have to proceed to the next anion. For example, next anion present in group 1 is sulfite. I don't have to continue because I already confirmed. You can have only one anion in your sample, so the ion is already confirmed.